All right, all right. Welcome everybody to the Power Up and Market Update. We're so excited that you guys are here. It is March 13th, 2023, and we are almost midway in March. We're heading into April. The first quarter of the year is almost gone for 2023. Isn't that interesting how time has traveled so quickly? It just seems like it has. I mean, in the blink of an eye, we're in March and we're almost heading into April, which is my birthday month. So I'm going to let you guys know April is my birthday month. So if you guys want to give me a great present, just want to, prepare you guys for that. Yeah, very excited to be here today. A lot of updates and information that we're going to be covering. So the first, slide that, just giving you some perspective of how we started our movement with EXP Let's Grow movement started out 4 years ago. So I always like to kick it off with that. And we're over 2,000 agents in 28 states now, 7 countries. And we're so excited because we're going to be moving into other countries and other states as well. So also another gift of why I wanted to share that. And I was thinking about this, guys, we have such a tremendous opportunity with EXP when somebody says that they want to buy, sell, or invest anywhere around the world, you could say yes. When somebody says that they want to join the brokerage or anything like that, you could say yes. If they want to do luxury, you could say yes. If they want to work in commercial, you could say yes. That is the gift of our company. So the vision for our company is to become a global leader in the real estate industry by partnering with the most productive, innovative, and purpose-driven leaders. And we're dedicated to driving growth and success for our agents and teams and to provide exceptional service to our clients. So next slide here, to talk about goals, which you guys should definitely be talking about your goals all the time, right? The more you talk about your goals, the more that they're going to be at the forefront of your brain. And we have something that is called the reticular activating system, the RAS, right? And when you put an intention and you put a goal in front of you constantly, your brain is like a seeking mechanism that's going to be constantly searching on how you can get to that goal. So it's very important that you guys are talking about your goals. You have it in front of you all the time. This is why I talk about it weekly. And our goal is to serve 21,000 families this year, 10 billion in volume, and to grow our organization globally to over 10,000 agents. That way my RAS is constantly searching for talent, for teams, for brokers, right? For people that would like to partner with our movement. So, and that might come through one of you guys, by the way. You guys may know somebody, right? So if you guys do know somebody that could be part of our movement, that could take, advantage of what we're providing, feel free to reach out to me. Let me help you to have those conversations, by the way, just a little additional nugget there. We have a really powerful event that's going to be happening in San Diego. So this is going to be a live event. It's not going to be online, but it's going to be all about foreclosures. It's going to be in San Diego, March 15th at 9 o'clock. We have a beautiful venue, and we're going to have Louis Chavez, Galen Barnes, Gabe Mendez, and also Chris Aguilar, which is a developer. So if I was you guys and you guys are in proximity, you guys can go to this event. This is going to be awesome. And Louis, I just interviewed him because he signed 8 listings in an hour and a half. 8 listings in an hour and a half, guys. I've been posting this little ad on Instagram and Facebook. How you could sign, 8 listings a month. And there was a guy that commented actually on my post, and he said, "You can't sign 8 listings a month. That's crazy," right? And I left his comment there, but I'm actually going to tag Mr. Louis Chavez. I'm like, "Hey, bro," I said, "Is it possible to sign 8 listings a month?" He's like, "Yeah, an hour and a half," right? An hour and a half, right? And obviously it was one client that had all these properties, right? But the properties are ranging from $3.5 million to $7.58 million. So 30 million in volume in 1.5 hours, right? So that's the power when you're dealing with these type of clients, and all of them are beachfront, right? And they're luxury homes. So there's a lot of foreclosures coming. There's a lot of foreclosures already here. These guys are signing 7 to 10 a week. But the interesting thing is that these foreclosures, not yet, they're not upside down. They're not short sales, right? These all have equity. So you could help these customers, get them in front of you by saying the right things, and you could sign these listings, help them to, save their equity, and help them to sell the property as a standard sale, right? So there's a couple of ways that we're going to do that. We're going to be sharing the tools, the strategies, even marketing. Gabe Mendez is one of the best marketers, I would say, on social media and beyond, right? So he's going to be talking about strategy on how to market yourself as well. And Chris Aguilar is going to be diving deep into developments, investments, and things like that. So a lot of exciting things that are going to be happening. So make sure you guys tune into this event. It's going to be awesome. We're also going to have this awesome event, and this is going to be online, so you guys can join from absolutely anywhere. And we have Jenny Rossetti that's going to be talking on our content creator Mastermind. Get this, she has 5 videos. I think she has about 12,000 followers on Instagram, and she has 5 videos that went viral. 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 videos that went viral, right? And some of them have 200, 300, 500,000 views, and she gets 100% of her business strictly from social media. So if you guys want to develop your social media, you guys want to crush it on your social media platform, Jenny Rossetti is going to be presenting. I'm going to be interviewing her. She's going to be sharing her strategies, her, how she does it, and how she gets her ideas, what platforms, all that good stuff. It's going to be happening March 15th at 2 o'clock. So same day, right after my other event, I'm going to be hosting this as well. So make sure you guys also tune into that. In addition to those training, we have about 9 other trainings, and Terry is going to drop it into the chat here shortly. So you guys can take a look at all the other trainings that we have, but we have scripts, role play, we have listing presentation, all of the different things that you need to have as far as developing your skills, productivity, lead generation, content creation. All of those classes are on that link. You guys should have got an email, and you guys should have got a text already with that information as well. So Terry just dropped that in there. So let's go into the numbers for the week. This is the weekly market update. By the way, guys, when I'm sharing this stuff, you guys should be thinking, how can I create content around this, right? Everything that I'm sharing with you guys here, it should trigger, say, hey, how can I use this and apply it to my business? How can I use this and have a conversation? So make a video about this. And if your county is not here, by the way, if you're in a different county that's not reflected in other, because I'm targeting LA, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, and San Diego. So if you guys are outside of these counties, use the most amazing tool that you have accessible to you, which is the MLS, right? That's where we're getting this data. So I pulled up the last 7 days of sales in these 5 counties, and we had 1,074 homes that hit the market last week in LA. 1,074. That means that, people were sitting at dinner or whatever. They were sitting at the dinner table signing contracts with over 1,000 agents last week, right? Just this one county. Orange County, we had 358 that went active. San Diego, we had 433 that went active. 587 in Riverside County, and San Bernardino, 333 actives, right? It's a lot of real estate that's being signed. So again, you guys should look at how many of those listings, how can I get in front of those sellers to sign these contracts, right? And pending. That means that people went under contract, right? Real estate is moving. And you guys can see the pending is 1,063 in LA, 480 in Orange County, 427 in San Bernardino, 608 in Riverside, and 601 in San Diego. One thing that I actually learned last week from one of my coaches, and there's an indication and a correlation if you see from the active to the pending. The pendings are higher than the actives, right? That means that there's going to be an increase in price. That's why you're seeing it. The days on the market is shrinking, as you could see. 42 days in LA, Orange County, 40 days. You got 32 days in San Diego. We got Riverside at 55, 56 in San Bernardino. So there's more pendings, right, that there is active. So that means that there's a lot of properties going under contract, which is a good sign for values, right, for sellers as well. And volume closed, 1.2 billion in LA, 550 in Orange County, 207 million in San Bernardino, 394 in Riverside, 527 in San Diego. Guys, how much business is out there? How much do you want out of that? That's like 2.8 billion in sales last week. That's what, 2.7 million in commissions that were paid to agents last week. So again, run the numbers, stay consistent with the numbers. Don't buy into the media, the narrative, because this is going to be something. This is something I've been keeping tabs on this for years of my career, because my original broker said, you got to know your numbers. If you're talking to buyers and you're talking to sellers and you don't know your numbers and you don't know what's happening, you're not going to sound like an expert. You're not going to be memorable, right? If you're not memorable, people are not going to refer you. And like one of my coaches says, business moves at the speed of trust, right? People are going to trust you based on your knowledge. And if you don't know your stuff, they're going to question whether they should refer you or not. Expireds, we had 370 expires off the market last week. I mean, if this is one of your target markets, I mean, go ahead and, you know, contact these sellers with this information, right? That's why I give you guys this information, because it's something you could use on the phone. One of the things that I've shared in the previous conversations that you guys should be using a guarantee sale type of offering to set these appointments, right? Hey, Miss Seller, Mr. Seller, I know you're getting hundreds of calls, but I wanted to reach out to you. I can guarantee I can help you to sell your home in 7 days. Meet with me for 15 minutes, or I will sell it for free. Make some exaggerated claim that you can get in front of the customer. 99% of the time, they're not going to want to go with that guarantee offer, because this is the catch. They have to agree to your price. Most people don't want to price their homes aggressively, but if they listen to you, now you have a saleable listing that can sell within 7 days. If for any reason they do take it, then obviously make sure that you do your pricing, right? Make sure you price it aggressively. But I always say, do you have at least 30 days to sell this property? The seller says, yeah, of course. Are you in a desperate need for money right now? No, I'm not. I totally have time. Oh, okay. Well, maybe our guarantee sale program is not going to be the right fit for you. Let's just go to the standard option, right? So you want to give them both those options. Expireds for sale by owners, use it for both of those strategies. I think they're going to knock it out of the park with that. So the EXP stock, we're at $11.22, 1.7 billion market cap. I like to share this with you guys because at EXP, you guys are shareholders, right? You're in any other company that talks about their numbers and talks about how great they are and they're number one and all this stuff. That's fantastic. But does that affect my family and my well-being and my future? The absolute answer is no, at 99% of the other brokerages. At our brokerage, I talk about this number because this directly impacts your future, especially for you guys that are going after Icon, right? Which is the $16,000 stock award with our company. Get that, right? You're not getting a trophy. You're not getting like a certificate. You're getting a $16,000 award that's going to directly impact your family. So this is great, great news. So we're seeing an increase there. And the next thing that we have coming up is some update about EXP. So you guys probably saw this. I posted about this. I made like 2 or 3 videos about this. We're number 1 by transaction sides per Real Trends, right? Number 1, guys. So huge applause for everybody at EXP. Congratulations, congratulations. I actually made a video about this because a lot of people were like, you know, they always make all these jokes like, all this company does is recruit. All this company does is recruit. Well, number 1 by transaction side, there you go. We got it by Real Trends, published, right? Official. And we were not number 1 in volume. I think Compass was number 1 in volume, but you know, huge shout out to everybody that's working and plugging away, that's working really hard. I mean, this is huge, guys, huge. We're almost 88,000 agents, right, to be number 1 for transactions. That means, because there's other companies that are bigger than us, that have more agents than us, that are not in the number 1 spot. So what does that mean? That we're attracting the best teams, we're attracting the best agents, we're attracting the best brokerages, the high producing brokerage and teams. So this is really fantastic news. So we're going to go into a mortgage update. So we're going to hear from Mr. Neal Anders up next. What's up, Mr. Neal? Give us our mortgage.
What's up?
Let's
go.
go.
I appreciate it, Leo. Thank you so much for having me on. I want to use my time today to just share a little bit, more so than the market, but more so a little bit about strategy. I think strategy is obviously so key. You know, there may be a lot of builders out there, right? Who's going to build the best? Not just the hard worker, who's got more tools in their toolbox, who can do more with the same amount of inventory and clients and options. So a couple of things I want to discuss. You guys may want to take notes on this. I think this is really powerful. This is very strategic. But I think when you have buyers, the objective being potential renters that are looking at maybe making the move to becoming home buyers, one of the biggest rebuttals or concerns that people have is, I'm moving from being a renter to being a buyer. My payment is going up, right? Like, I'm real comfortable at $2,000 a month for rent, but now that I'm going to go buy, my payment's going up to $3,500. That's too big of a jump. Okay, what if you could tell those buyers that you could get them a cosigner, right? A cosigner that would help make that a portion of that payment for them, bringing down the amount that they're required to make. But this is a cosigner that does not require equity, does not have to sign any documentation. You keep the house, you keep ownership, and someday down the road when you sell that property, you keep all the proceeds. Now, this is a strategy exclusively for really W-2 wage earners, okay? This is what I tell buyers they can do. Now, as I go into this, I want to make it really clear, I'm not licensed at really much of anything other than drive a car, and it's a Tesla. It pretty much drives itself. So I don't have any licensing on, CPA, financial planning, any of that. I have a driver's license, that's about it. But these are things that you can share with clients that they can do their own homework on and do their research and talk to their CPA. If they're a W-2 wage earner, have them pull out their pay stub and have them look at the top number. Now that's going to be the gross figure. Then down below is the smaller number. It's called the net, right? And I say the difference, that's the gross part, right? That's the part that's coming out in taxes. If you're W-2'd, remember guys, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It matters how much money you keep. That's the number that really matters. And if you're W-2'd, you don't really have many tax deductions like people in mortgage, people in real estate like you, self-employed 1099 folks have. They don't get to write off miles on their car, their house, and marketing materials. They have nothing other than possibly having a home. So most of these folks that we meet with that are W-2'd, they're in the roughly 35% tax bracket. With the price of where these homes are in a lot of these areas, we're able to have them make a simple connection with their CPA and figure out with this estimated new property and the payment that's going to be represented, that interest write-off that they get, how is that going to adjust down what they actually have to have taken out of their paycheck for the end of the year to have enough to pay their taxes. And a lot of these guys like here in Southern California, they're going from like 35% to 20%. If their CPA allows them to tell them what that number is, they can literally adjust their pay stubs from work and start getting immediate additional take-home pay on their very next check. What that means is that $3,500 payment, they only represent $2,800, $2,500 when you take into consideration that part of that money now is being added back on their paycheck, courtesy of the IRS, who's now in it to win it with them on this property and contributing towards making this payment. It's a great idea. Guys, if you want clients that want to discuss or understand more, have them reach out to us at any time. I'll give you one additional way that you can look at this, and that is with your buyers that are saying that payment's going to be way too high. There's one other thing that the IRS is partnering up right now through the benefit of taxes that can help your clients, and that's with solar. So ask your potential new buyer, are you renting right now? What do you pay for electric where you rent? Most renters cover their own electric. Oh, during the summer, it's over $400 a month. Let them see the numbers that if they were able to purchase a property, they now have the ability to add solar on their home. A lot of the programs out there, whether it's a PPA where they lease, up to 70% reduction in solar and electric costs, or even if they were to buy the unit, a lot of these people go from something like $400 to $100. So what I'm telling you is I'm able in a lot of cases to take a renter who's paying $2,000 a month, who's looking at buying and going up to $3,500 a month. And if they're W-2'd with the help of their tax guy and running a quick scenario, maybe with looking at something like solar, we can show them how we can increase their take-home pay on their pay stub, decrease a bill like utilities, and move them from renting to owning for maybe the same exact amount of outgoing money per month, while building a financial future and stability and living the American dream of home ownership. Hope a lot of that makes sense. If it doesn't, reach out to me anytime. I'll drop my information in the chat or write down my number. It's really easy, 702-743-CASH. You can't forget that, 702-743-CASH. Thank you for letting me share, Leo.
Thank you so much, Neal. Appreciate the update, brother. Yes, and make sure that you guys reach out. His number there is on the screen. Reach out to Neal. As you guys are already aware, it's really important that you guys have a solid team, right, for everything. And I appreciate everything you do for our company. And up next, we have Kristen with the legal update again, right, talking about a valuable asset to your team. Kristen is amazing. So I'm very, very excited, Kristen, for you to share today. And welcome to the Power Up.
Thanks, guys. So today what I want to talk about is actually the Silicon Valley Bank and what it could mean in relation to your real estate transactions. Yes, I'm a real estate attorney, but I also happen to have a degree in economics from a little school called UCLA. So just like fundamentally what happened with this, I think is something that's useful for agents to have some basis of knowledge of. So in a nutshell, what happened was this bank had mismanagement. They were under liquefied. They didn't have enough cash on hand. That led to losses. That led to solvency concerns. Those solvency concerns led to people frantically going, oh no, this bank doesn't have my money. I'm going to pull all of my money out of my bank immediately, right? And because too many people were pulling money out, that's when government financial regulators took control over the bank. I think this was Friday or Saturday. Now, first over the weekend, there was a lot of uncertainty and concern over what that meant for people who had their money in the bank, because a lot of those accounts were only insured up to $250,000, which I read statistics that was something like only 3% of the accounts, right? So there was a huge concern over, especially you saw a lot of financial companies banked, or a lot of tech companies banked with that. So there was concerns over all of the fallout that could happen with that. At first, it looked like the government wasn't going to step in. Last night, they did step in. They did say, hey, we're going to come in. We're going to make sure that the deposits are going to be able to be paid out, but that they're not bailing out the bank owners themselves. So that's how this is a little bit different too than what we saw like back in 2008 and that sort of thing. There was also a second bank too that that has already been impacted by that, Signature Bank. So let's talk about immediate impact and potential long-term impact. I'm going to be as brief as I can. Immediate impact: if you had a client whose loan was with one of those banks and you were pending, obviously they're going to need more time. They need to immediately start shopping to try to find something else. Hopefully the other side is understanding about that. If not, there's an argument of contractual impossibility. This is a common law argument that says, hey, something happened, it was really unforeseeable and out of my control, right? But it's a little bit tricky to try to argue that. So definitely you're going to want to advise your client to consult with an attorney before they try using that argument. The long-term impact could be rates going up, rates going down. We're really not sure what's going to happen with that. And the same thing for prices. Anytime you see economic uncertainty, though, the good news, the good takeaway news for agents, right? People are scared to put their money in banks right now, okay? Because of this, they're afraid to put their money in bank bonds. They also don't want to sit on cash because we're in a time of high inflation, right? They also don't want to put their money into stocks right now because the stock market has also gone down as a result of this. So real estate is going to become a more attractive investment option, I think, in the next few weeks. That being said, anytime you're in this uncertainty, please protect your clients, make sure they're using their loan contingencies, make sure you're actually filling out that full loan contingency, because I don't know if rates are going to go up or down. If you're not sure what to put in for the percentage or the points, use the pre-qualification letter as a guideline and say, hey, client, you're pre-qualified at this amount. Can we use this for your loan contingency? Does that sound good to you? And then also try not to remove that investigation contingency early if you can get away with it, because that's going to give your clients some more options in this uncertain times. So that's my 2-minute overview.
Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, it was everywhere. So I'm really grateful that you shared about that. That's so we're prepared and we can have a conversation about that. I think, going to that, right? Roku, I think they had about $480 million in right? And so if they wouldn't return their money, think about the implications of that, right? So thank you so much for sharing that. And we will, obviously it's very early on, so we will see what that trickles into. So
I'm going to be monitoring it. I'm sure I'll do some kind of update next week. And also if you check out our socials, I'm working on content this week too, to help guide agents and their clients through kind of this troubled time.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Kristen. I was going to say that, guys, make sure you guys follow Kristen, because she's always, along with her business partner, always posting great videos about, the most up-to-date information. So thank you, Kristen, for being here and delivering this value. Really appreciate that. And now we're going to move on to our escrow update with Ms. Nina Alvarez with Centerstone Escrow. Ms. Nina, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hey, I just wanted to piggyback off of what you had mentioned with Luis Chavez's event. We do handle those escrows. That guy, he's a beast. So if you guys can make it out to the event, I highly, highly recommend it. So I'll be really quick. A escrow tip of the week is communication. So I know it sounds very simple, but I was racking my brain trying to figure out what I see during the transactions when things go wrong. And I found out a lot of it boils down to communication. So it's extremely crucial during the escrow process. It helps to ensure that all parties involved are aware of what is happening at each stage of the transaction. So make sure you communicate with your clients, the escrow officer, lender, or any professionals that are involved in the transaction. if there's any, if you have any changes or updates or issues, I highly recommend you inform all parties involved because it'll minimize any confusions or misunderstandings, and it'll make sure to, it'll ensure that the transaction stays on track. So also I'll recommend that you build a strong relationship with your escrow officer and make sure you establish those open lines of communication. If you can, keep your escrow officer or escrow rep on speed dial so that if you have any questions or, something comes up, you guys are always busy, so if something pops into your head, speed dial your rep and let them know what's going on. So yeah, this is one of my tips to ensure smooth closing. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Nina. Really appreciate you. And Nina's contact information, if you guys are looking for somebody awesome, her contact information is there. So make sure you guys reach out to Nina and her team. And up next, we got Miss Terry. It's going to be giving us a quick update about EXP. What's up, Miss Terry?
Good morning, everyone. I would like to share a little bit about our world. Many of us do not utilize it to its fullest. So if I could take the power and share my screen really quick.
Sure. Go for it. Let me go ahead and stop the share. Go for it.
And this is our world, ladies and gentlemen. We walk in with our avatar. You dress your avatar as however you want. And once you're in the world, you are connected to all your departments. To go to each of the departments, you could walk to them, but I always say, let's go to the easiest way. Press the go to button. Your US broker stateroom has your brokers. Ryan's here in our chat, so awesome. From North California, thank you for joining us. In the broker room, you're going to be able to see your compliance team, your transaction teams, and your brokers. So if you ever have questions about your contracts, about your transactions, please come in, visit with them. They'll let you know what's going on and give you guidance. Accounting department and accounting solution center. If you have questions about your checks, your direct deposits, payment methods, where is my check? Go and talk to them about this. And the one that I love, the onboarding and agent support, they are open 7 days out of the week into 8 o'clock in the evening. From what I hear, they want to extend those hours. So if your sponsor, if your team leader or myself are not available for you during the weekends, please go and visit the onboarding and agent support room. They will guide you, they will help you, they'll tell you what department to go to. And last but not least is two more. EXP University. There's over 80 hours of trainings every week, ladies and gentlemen. In the university, this is all the classrooms that most of the classes are taking part. So please take advantage of those, especially KV Core, game changer for your business. And the last are tech support. You ever find yourself that you're unable to log into SkySlope, go visit our tech support. They're open 24 hours, Monday through Friday. And if you want more guidance, more direction, please reach out to me. And I will be more than happy to guide you, answer questions, or even onboard you if you never gotten onboarded correctly.
Yay. Awesome. Terry, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really love that you shared about the EXP world. It's such a powerful tool, guys. And Terry has done an excellent job of helping us to integrate everybody. So if you are not familiar, very comfortable on how to use it, feel free to reach out to Terry. She can go ahead and give you a tour of the EXP world, just so you guys are dialed in, because you literally have everything at your fingertips, literally 24/7 in one of our departments. So thank you so much, Terry, for everything you do for our team. That's her contact information there. And we are moving on to the next topic. So I was thinking of what conversation am I going to have with the team this week? And I think this is a good topic to talk about. Commit to extraordinary, guys. Commit to extraordinary, right? And if you guys look at the word extraordinary, The only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the extra. That is it, right? The beautiful thing is that every single one of you listening to this training is capable of being extraordinary, and it doesn't take talent. Because a lot of people, when they look people on a video, or they look at and see somebody on stage, we think about the greats like Kobe Bryant, right? Like, or Michael Jordan. These guys and these gals that have excelled and got to extraordinary levels of success have not gotten there because of just purely talent, right? Kobe says this all the time. He used to say this, him rest in peace now, but he would always say this, right? He would get there earlier than everybody.
Getting ready for work.
I think I'm getting some feedback, Ms. Terry. See if we can mute everybody and be extraordinary in this presentation and listen in to what I'm talking about. This is an opportunity for you guys to listen in. So, guys, commit to extraordinary. If you guys commit to extraordinary, you guys are going to reach the levels of success that you guys want to get to. The thing is that this has happened to me early on in the business as well, right? I wasn't committed to extraordinary. I was just committed to getting by. I was committed to making money. I was committed to just make it, right? And that's a whole different energy if you commit to just making it and you commit to just selling a home. If you commit to something way bigger, greater than that, and you commit yourself to extraordinary, to say, you know what, I am committed to being the best version of myself. I am committed to serving as many families as I can. I'm committed to being open to receiving blessings from God that I can't even imagine just yet, right? But you got to be open and receptive to it, and you have to commit yourself to that extraordinary dimension, because if you guys don't, then again, you guys are going to have ups and downs, right? And right now there's uncertainty. And that's, by the way, the change in the business all the time. It's a constant, guys. I've been doing this for 17 plus years. The ups and the downs. The interest rates are high, the interest rates are low. There's not enough inventory, there's a lot of inventory. There's this program and there's not this program. This program went away and this program got introduced. There's always, the government did that and the government didn't do this. It's always a change. But if you want to commit yourself to extraordinary, one of the key things that you got to do, for sure, is take full responsibility for your life and your business. Responsibility, also, if you break down that word, responsibility, that means that you have the ability to respond. So you have the ability to respond continuously. And those things that you can control and take full responsibility for are your habits, right? What are your daily habits? What are you doing on a daily basis, right? That's something that doesn't take talent. It's just commitment, right? Setting your clear goals, right? Which I started off the meeting with, setting a goal and committing to that goal and bringing integrity to that and make sure you're showing up to that. Also, something that doesn't take talent is time management, right? Everybody that's in the top 1% is extraordinary at keeping accountable to their calendar, right? And managing their time effectively. They time block for their lead generation. They time block for their follow-up. They time block for everything. But time management is a huge key. One of the other things is that we cannot ever get to the point where we think we know it all, right? Somebody that wants to be extraordinary and be in the top 1%, you have to have a mindset that I'm always learning. I'm always learning. I'm learning today. I'm learning from everybody. I'm learning from every environment. I'm learning constantly. If you have a learning mindset, then you're never going to get to a setting where you say, oh, I got this, right? As soon as you say you got this, you guarantee that you don't got it no more, because there's no such thing. You either growing or you're dying, like Tony Robbins says. There's no like locking in, like, hey, I'm gonna lock in like an interest rate, right? If you want to lock in your interest rate, hit up Neal. But if you can't lock in your success, you gotta pay the price every single day, right? And then also going to networking events, going to events like we're putting together, be around other people, rub elbows with other people that are making it happen. Because the thing is that I've found that the biggest difference for my life has always come from being in the right rooms, being around the right people. Somebody says something that, wow, it resonates and it gives me my next idea that I just go apply and execute. And that's going to be the biggest thing about this, guys. I mean, you guys can learn everything we talk about, but if you guys don't implement daily, if you don't implement moment to moment, it's not going to make a difference. It's going to make you feel good temporarily. But again, if you're committed to being extraordinary, you got to do the uncomfortable stuff. Like something I do uncomfortable every day. I do cold showers, right? And I don't do cold showers because, you know, just because I enjoy them. It shocks me to the core every single time. I don't want to do cold showers, but I do it because it gets me ramped up, it gets me energized, and that way I know I'm going to have to deliver, I'm going to have to execute, I'm going to have to be extraordinary in every conversation. That's the level of standard that I've committed to myself, right? And also maintaining a positive attitude, right? The media does a really good job of spreading negativity. You got to commit yourself to maintaining a positive attitude. People will want to work with you based on your personality. If your personality is not magnetic, is not uplifting, it's not refreshing, people are not going to be around you. They're not going to want to talk to you. They're not going to want to refer you. If you're not getting referrals, it may be connected to your energy. You got to connect yourself to your energy. How am I coming across? Am I coming across pessimistic, negative, right? When somebody says something negative around me, I do my best to uplift the conversation. Don't just go with it, right? Just don't go with the flow and go down this negative spiral. Uplift the conversation, and you have the power to do that. And again, everything that I'm talking about doesn't require talent. It doesn't require some special gift. It doesn't require some special talent. It does not, right? I started off like every single one of you as an agent, right? I started off as a real estate agent. I am now in leadership, and it wasn't because, again, I was born a leader. No, that didn't happen. I failed a lot. If you guys want to commit to extraordinary as well, you guys got to understand that failure is going to be a constant. And you guys got to be comfortable with failure. You got to be comfortable with losing, comfortable with making the bad decisions sometimes, or making the wrong choice, right? I really believe, because I've seen it come to life in my life, that everything, even when it seemed like it wasn't something that was serving me, it did, right? I just couldn't see it in the way up to what I was doing. And I was like, why is this happening to me? Until I changed the question and I said, this is happening for me. I know God is doing this for a specific reason, and it's serving my future. I just don't know it yet, but I'm going to get myself out of the way, commit myself to what I said I was going to do, and get my little temporary situation, because everything is temporary. Your life, guys, changes in a second. It changes in a second. It's a decision in 1 second, right? So commit yourself today to say, you know what, today I'm committed to being extraordinary. This week, I'm committed to being extraordinary. Take it day by day. It's a daily choice, right? And one of the books that I wanted to talk about that goes in correlation with this conversation is Never Finished by David Goggins. I would say one of the greatest individuals on the planet right now when it comes to a resilient mindset, David Goggins. So look at the ideas. Stop wallowing in your misery and start moving forward, right? Like the pity party, right? I did that for a while, right? When I failed, like the first time around in my career, I wallowed in my own misery for like 1.5 years, and it was painful. And guess what? After 1.5 years of me wallowing in it, it didn't change anything. The only thing that actually changed something was me going out there and starting to take action. That was the only thing that I did. So then I started to figure out, I'm like, okay, so me wallowing and being in that environment didn't make a difference. But then I started taking action. I'm like, why did I even waste 1.5 years? I should have just, maybe gave myself an hour and felt it, and then got back on the court and started taking action. Use your negative experience as motivation to reach great heights, right? Allow that to be fuel, right? Allow that not to stop you. Allow it to be fuel for your engine. A single second can make all the difference in your life. Focus on the task at hand instead of wondering whether the end of your suffering is near, right? It's kind of like if you were, I love to hike. I like to go out, like basically on, these 4, 5, 6 hour, hikes sometimes. And if I had to think about like all of the things that I had to go through to just get to the top of the mountain, I would be suffering the whole time. But the only thing I do is I focus on the step in front of me every single moment. And I start to observe, like, what's the beauty around me? Like, all these trees are really nice, these birds, right? I start to get into the moment, because life is happening as you're on your journey, right? Don't get to the point where you're just obsessing over like the destination, that you waste all of this time. That happened to me early on too. When I overcame a bunch of stuff, I went on like a 5-year run where I kind of put myself to the side and I just dedicated myself to performance. And before you knew it, it was a blink of an eye. 5 years went by, I was making all this money, but then everything in my life was kind of falling apart because I stopped paying attention to a lot of things, right? So you want to make sure you're focusing on that. Discipline can help you more accountable and resilient. Don't settle for low level success, right? Commit to extraordinary and surpass the normal standards and set your own, right? I'm not telling you to set my standard, set your standard. What is your standard for yourself? That's a question you should ask yourself. What is it that you want to accomplish? And make sure you put those standards that are connected to that. So the next thing is your focus, which I kind of went over a lot of these. Routine, feeding your mind, right? Movement, 2 appointments a day. Guys, you guys are in the business of representing clients, buyers and sellers. Your 3 jobs in real estate are represent buyers, talk to sellers, and negotiate contracts. Those are your 3 jobs. So your intention every single day should be to set up appointments with people. That's the only thing that counts as your business, your storefront for your business. If you're not setting new appointments, that means that nobody's walking into your store, right? If you owned a Best Buy, if you owned an In-N-Out Burger, you owned a restaurant, if nobody came through the door, you could work all you want on your systems in the back end, but if nobody walked into the door and you didn't serve a customer, your business was shut down for that day. That's how your real estate business is. Plug into trainings, right? Keep yourself refreshed. A lot of the stuff that I talk about weekly, it's repetitive. Why is it repetitive? Because success is repetitive. It's not like these brilliant little hack that you want to do. You can't do that. It's repetitive. It's repetitive mastery, right? Build relationships and bring value. That's the biggest thing in real estate that we're doing. You're building relationships. And how do you build relationships? You add value. And when you add value, you build relationships. It's a loop, right? So what are you going to create this week? That's a question I want to ask you guys. How many listings, how many open escrows, how many closings, how many agents you're going to attract? If that's part of your business plan, write that down. If you haven't done that already, I do this on Sunday. I'm committing myself and saying, this is what I'm going to create for the week, right? That way the RAS, right? Everything starts to focus and expand on that. So who I am is the possibility of being resilient and empowering. Those are the 2 words that I'm choosing for the week. Choose whatever words you want for yourself. That is going to be how I will interact with individuals in a conversation, right? Because I think that words create world. The words that you use create your world. If you're not creating a happy, abundant world, you're probably pay attention to the language that you're using. Everything is connected to that. The opportunities that are opening up are also connected to the language that you're using. And thank you for being here. That is it. That is for the Power Up and Market Update for Monday, March 13th. Thank you guys for tuning in. The formal part of the conversation is complete. Thank you guys for your attention. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your being here. And God bless all of you and your families. And may this week be an extraordinary week for all of you, where you attract listings and buyers and escrows, all that good stuff. And as always, feel free to reach out if I can help in any way. And also make sure you guys connect with Nina, with Kristen, with Neal. These guys are all part of the team, also willing to help. So thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate you guys.